43. The professor's observations in paragraphs 15 to 17 create tension in the excerpt by causing the narrator to feel. Okay, so we want to look for some feeling of tension that the narrator has as a result of paragraphs 15 to 17. Okay, so let's go back up and check the paragraph ideas in 15 to 17. So I want to just see what's happening right before it. Okay, so they disagree, and he asks the professor and points out that it's extinct, the great auk. We learn the great auk is extinct. That's why the narrator does not believe in the letter. To which the professor now replies in 15 to 17, "Oh, you young fellows," said the professor, smiling wearily. So he's referring to the narrator as a young fellow generally. "You embark on a theory for destinations that don't exist." Which kind of means you run fool's errands or you're wrong. He leaned back in his chair with amused eyes, searching for space for the imagery that made him smile. So he's kind of amused by this whole idea. Like swimming squirrels, you navigate with the help of heaven and a stiff breeze, but you never land where you hope to, do you? So he's kind of questioning the narrator's approach and his conclusion, basically his logic. So, and he's a little bit amused about the whole idea. How does the narrator feel? Because that's really the question. We don't really get the narrator's feeling here. We get it immediately after. "Rather red in the face," I said. "Don't you believe the great auk to be extinct?" So why would the narrator be rather red in the face? It doesn't actually tell us in these lines he's sad, he's happy, he's angry. It just says he's rather red in the face. Well, that could be anger, but nothing seems to indicate anger here. The other typical expression of red in the face or meaning is that you're embarrassed, right? You're kind of flustered by the criticism of your logic here, right? So maybe the narrator's a little embarrassed here. Let's take a look. If any answer choice matches that idea. The narrator to feel flustered by the professor's criticism of his logic. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's flustered. He's kind of embarrassed. He's set back. That's why his face is turning red. And the professor was criticizing his logic. That looks to be the right answer. Let's just check B, C, D. Annoyed by the professor's sarcasm about his inexperience. Okay. Well, I mean, he does say you young fellows. He's not directly attacking his experience. And I don't think the narrator is annoyed. Nothing to suggest that he's annoyed by the professor's words. Annoyed, you don't really turn red in the face just because you're a little annoyed. Maybe if you're really angry, right? B is not right. Confused by the lack of respect for his opinion. Well, again, you don't turn red in the face when you're confused. That's not what the text seems to indicate. D, frustrated by the professor's lack of interest in his theory. Well, I mean, the professor doesn't have or lack interest in his theory. That part's wrong. He's interested, he just doesn't agree with it, right? And again, turning red in the face is not a sign of frustration. So this is really interesting because the text doesn't tell you how he feels, it shows you how he feels. It demonstrates through red in the face that he's flustered, he's embarrassed. That's the idea you have to get from what the text demonstrates, which is a little different than previous answers. So it's one to take note of. The correct answer for 43 is A.